Now we will hear from two of our seniors. The first holds a 103 grade point average, is a state champion, 100-meter backstroke, and is committed to swim at Denison, where she will be on the pre-med track, double majoring in biology and business with a neuroscience concentration. Please welcome the class of 2023 Salutatorian, Jasmine Park.
Hello, my name is Jasmine Park, and on behalf of the senior class of 2023, I'd like to welcome faculty, board members, family, friends, and distinguished guests. I would also like to acknowledge those who helped me in my journey during my high school years. Thank you to Mr. Collins for his hexaflexicons, which brought me much joy, as well as boosted my GPA my freshman year. Thank you to my sophomore WAP teacher, whose shower curtain project drove me so crazy that I requested that if I died tomorrow, my parents would bury me in it. Thank you to all my junior year teachers who made the most grueling year of high school tolerable. Thank you to Coach Axe, Miss Billingsley, Mr. Hendrick, Miss Sierra, Mr. Cleaves, and Miss Reitz for equipping me with the tools to tackle college during my last year here at Hyde Park. Thank you to my friends and peers who supported me during this journey. Last but not least, thank you to my parents for all the early mornings and the late nights, the last-minute scrambles to collect materials for projects that I procrastinated on, and our nightly family dinners. To all those who I mentioned and all those I didn't who had an impact on my life, I thank you. In the process of writing the speech, I did everything I was supposed to do. I searched the greatest graduation speech of all time on YouTube, and many videos actually surfaced underneath that title because it turns out a lot of valedictorians and salutatorians are egomaniacs, including myself at times. I read countless examples and perused several websites that promised if I just followed their outline on how to write a salutatory speech, that it'd be a real tearjerker. I tried my hand at writing witty speeches, nostalgic speeches, humble speeches, attempting to follow the formula that I observed my predecessors using, but it all felt disingenuous to my person. I felt like I was trying to tell a story that others wanted to hear or orate through my spoken words. Trying to write in a way that didn't suit me was reminiscent of the period of time in which I was trying to identify with ideals that didn't suit me in an effort to paint a grander picture of myself. But here's the thing. You don't have to have your whole identity figured out by the time you graduate high school. Identity is not something that is set in stone. It's a constantly evolving landscape and a reflection of the stage of life that you are currently in. We're newly minted, graduated seniors about to enter college, where we will all be trying to find and establish new communities that will influence the way we behave and the way we view ourselves. We must prioritize building relationships while being conscious of who we are surrounding ourselves with. But above all else, we must never forget to nurture and grow our relationship with God. For only He can provide an answer that will last, one that is not contingent on our daily actions. He is the true reflection of inner peace and acceptance that we all seek, and His unconditional approval should be used as the mirror in which we view ourselves. Last Sunday, the class of 2023 underwent the baccalaureate ceremony. While many might have thought the ceremony frivolous, one might come to the conclusion that when looking back, the kids of 2023 will see the ceremony as an important rite of passage, the beginning of the end of their childishness. In this way, Hyde Park allows students to have a tangible point in which to look back and reminisce upon, a benchmark of sorts to measure their personal development against. For me, the baccalaureate ceremony struck a chord beside the opportunity to hear and connect with a passionate speech presented by the junior and senior religion teacher, Mr. Cleaves. Mr. Cleaves left us with a challenge to pursue our goals, but not prioritize them over God. This material world tells us that we need to keep up with the Joneses and continue striving for more. But God tells us in John 1:12, "But to all who believed Him and accepted Him, He gave the right to become children of God." No matter what the rest of the world's narrative is, we must always remember that the second we let God into our hearts, in the same breath, He accepts us into His eternal family. We're only performing for an audience of one, and we don't have to prove our worth to Him. He already knows our worth, and He's willing to meet us exactly where we are, because He's already claimed us as beloved sons and daughters. That is the beauty of God. You don't have to fix yourself for Him. You're never too broken for Him. His love is unconditional, and as Psalm 62:2 says, "He alone is your rock and salvation, your stronghold. You shall not falter." He accepts you, flaws and all. I'm honored to stand here today and I greatly appreciate this opportunity that was afforded to me. If there's one thing that you take away from this speech, it is a piece of advice that I gave to others in my senior spotlight that honestly I need to remind myself from time to time. Work hard, but not to the detriment of building meaningful relationships. And that neglected relationship can even include your walk with Christ. Ephesians 5:15 says, "So be careful to live your life wisely and not foolishly." Up until this year, there were numerous times where I've lived foolishly, made sacrifices that made me forget to prioritize and maintain the important relationships in my life. I originally wanted to write this speech about the great connections, the numerous memories that I've made at Hyde Park. Yet while brainstorming, I came up short. Why? Because I concentrated my focus, my energy in accomplishing goals that in the long run are irrelevant. But in my ruminations, I realized something very important. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money you've made, how much you've accomplished, how large you've lived, if you have nobody in your corner to celebrate your successes alongside you. So I repeat, work hard, but not to the detriment of building meaningful relationships. Hold tight to the people and things that are meaningful to you and let go of those that aren't. What will stand the test of time is not the particular grade that you got on a particular test, but the way we made others feel. That is what matters. I'm 17, I'm still young, yet I've already lived too long a life that has been characterized by too much self-involvement, where I placed value in material goods and accomplishments that I thought were so worthwhile that I was willing to squander relationships with others, including God. I'm thankful that I've already had the privilege of learning my lesson about the importance of building meaningful relationships. So I implore you, the graduating class of 2023, sacrifice for the sake of others, not at the sake of others. Love big, love unconditionally, and love others as God loves, and in addition, calls us to love in turn. Thank you, and congratulations to the most attractive and memorable class that has ever graced the halls of Hyde Park High School, the class of 2023.